Hello, I'm Mike Ray, and welcome again to another 5-minute message. I'm here at South Mountain again in Phoenix, and I'm on top of a little hill. And as you can see from this hill, we can see pretty much all the way around until we get to the south, and the rest of the mountains block our view. But this is an area that you can really see a lot of the city, a lot of the valley. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about today. Is if I were to start a fire up on this hill, it would be seen for miles. And Jesus talks about that. In Matthew chapter 5, verses 13 through 16, Jesus said, "You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled under people's feet. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hid. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." That's a wonderful verse, but it's also a little scary. That I am supposed to be like a light up on this hill, and everybody will be looking at me. In other words, I'm teaching people. I'm teaching people not only by talking with them, but I'm teaching people by them watching me. For example, in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 15, there Peter wrote, "But in your hearts honor Christ the Lord as holy, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you. Yet do it with gentleness and respect." You see, sometimes I think we go in teaching people with the idea of it's a debate, it's a contest, and I'm going to win. And I'm going to prove to you through God's word that I'm right. And nobody ever benefits from that. We need to go in with the concept of, I want you to understand the truth. And that way you can make a decision based off of that truth. So we teach with gentleness. We teach with kindness. In 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 20, it says, "Therefore we are ambassadors of Christ, God making his appeal through us. We implore you on behalf of Christ, be reconciled to God." You realize that? We are ambassadors. Just as if you were an ambassador of the United States and going to another foreign country, you represent that country. When people see you, they figure that's the way the country is. When people see us, they are looking for Christ in our lives. We are ambassadors for Christ. This message this morning was inspired by a poem I heard last night on YouTube, someone reading. And it's by a young lady named Maggie Gross. She's 24 years old and a nurse. And she wrote this poem she'd entitled Maggie's Poem. Do you understand that you represent Jesus to me? Do you understand that when you treat me with gentleness, it raises the question in my mind that maybe he's gentle too. Maybe he isn't someone who laughs when I'm hurt. Do you understand that when you listen to my questions and you don't laugh, I think, what if Jesus is interested in me too? Do you understand that when I hear you talk honestly about arguments and conflicts and scars from your past, that I think, maybe I'm just a regular person instead of a bad, no good little girl who deserves abuse? If you care, I think maybe he cares. And then there's this little flame of hope that burns inside of me. And for a while, I'm afraid to breathe because it might go out. Do you understand that your words are his words? Your face is his face to someone like me. Please be who you say you are. Please, God, don't let this be another trick. Please let this be real. Please. Do you know? Do you understand that you represent Jesus to me? May we all represent Jesus Christ in our lives every day. After all, you never know who's watching. And thank you for watching today.